I had considered my options throughout the day. At first, thinking I would spend New Year's Eve alone in my apartment, getting drunk off beer and watching videos. Then, admitting this too depressing a solution to my evening, perhaps coloring the forthcoming year in a somewhat inauspicious light. I then thought of taking the Amtrak up to New York to watch the ball drop at Times Square, cheering down time among the jubilant throng, those perennial revelers whom I had only ever witnessed as anonymous holiday extras on the television screen. The possibility of transforming myself into one of those people for the evening felt attractive enough to justify the expensive train ride and long evening in the cold. Though, it was true, the few friends I had who lived in that city likely had other plans, and if I were to find a place to sleep after the ball had dropped, I would have to arrange something quickly. My final option was to spend New Year's Eve at Professor Allister's, as he had emailed me a few days prior. First, to apologize for allowing such a long gap in our admittedly seldom correspondence, and then to say he was throwing a party at his home in the Philadelphia suburbs, adding, in a somewhat overly familiar way, I thought, that even though he was now alone and a widower, he wouldn't let that get in the way of enjoying the little time he likely had left in his life. He had never previously mentioned that his wife had died. At the end of his email, he said that several of my graduating year's cohort from the philosophy and literature department would be in attendance, and that should I like to see what Robert, Thomas, and Maria, he had italicized her name, had been doing in the decade since our graduation, I should think about spending the evening at his house, although, he admitted, it was a somewhat unorthodox gathering to begin with, but one that he felt was necessary to hold, given his more recent-than-not retirement from teaching. He had never had a retirement party proper, and of course, his even more recently passed birthday on Christmas Day, adding that he had always, throughout his life, felt cheated of a decent birthday party due to this natal coincidence. The gathering would therefore offer itself thrice over, a celebration of a retirement, a birthday, and a new year, in that order.